Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
The hi, hello, hi. Well, okay. I will genuinely kill someone. Cause, okay, I hate YouTube chat extension, whatever. Why is it not working? Okay, it's working. Hi, hello, hi. Hi, Sam. Hi, Rob. Welcome. How are y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. Um, I hope y'all didn't watch the debate yesterday, because it was honestly a waste of time. Oh, wait. Good thing you're late, because I totally forgot you were going live till that second notification. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would have sent the notification anyway, but still. But yeah, I was late because I forgot that. I mean, I don't have to make thumbnails for the live streams, but now I feel like I have to, and so I just do them. So yeah. Wait, give me a second. Okay. I sent the appeal. Finally. Will they be like, it's not merciless. Merciful? Is merciful a word? Um, I refused to watch it live this morning. I listened to a bit of it at Dave Legend's stream. I refused to listen to it without Liv reacting to it. Who is Dave Legend? Who is Dave Legend? Unless you're talking about David and that he rebranded his channel, which that's an interesting rebranding. Uh, but yeah, I watched it yesterday with Lumi. Is it? Is it actually the new? That's a word. Is that a new? Is that his new username? Why? I like David Tavares. Um, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, yesterday I watched it. No, a different David. Oh, okay, got it. Then why did you say yes? Um, oh yes, that's the word. Oh, merciful. Yeah, I wish. I am hoping that Twitch is merciful and that forgives me and that it's like, oh yeah, you're so right. We made a mistake and I know that's not going to happen. On Twitch for years, but they really oh interesting, fun. But yeah, no. So yesterday I watched the stream on Hi Kay, welcome. How are you doing? Uh, yeah. Yesterday I watched the stream. Yesterday I watched the debate with in Lumi's channel and in Critical Aces series channel, Critical Ace Theories channel, and we played bingo, and I didn't win. And also while I was watching both streams, I was also like doing other stuff, so I was like half paying attention and half not, but at the same time it was like rather than painful, the debate more than anything was kind of like underwhelming and disappointing. Not even disappointing, it was just boring and underwhelming. Like the most interesting part of the debate was when Biden said that yeah, it was truly a clown show. The most interesting part was when Biden said that Trump had slept with a porn star and that and then Trump replied, "First of all, I didn't sleep with a porn star." I'm not going to do the accent, whatever, but still. Yeah, but like, oh my god. For a short time I watched, oh my god. Sleepy Joe was sleeping the whole time. He he sometimes was he had he had his eyes closed for like little lapses of time, and then he was like this, and then he would start speaking, and then he would open his eyes, and I was like, is he sleeping or is he just like? And I know he wasn't sleeping, but the fact that I was thinking that he was asleep was like, so yeah, he was disgusting. I think so, but yeah, Orange Man Bad wasn't even at his best. He truly wasn't. Like, and it was honestly the most important election though, right? It was honestly like it was a bad debate because neither of them went to screensaver mode literally, because neither of them were like actually answering the questions, or at the very least like while Trump was straight up not answering the questions, Biden was like doing like the typical politician stuff to be like kind of like uh responding the questions in a roundabout way without actually answering the question, but also like just being a fucking liberal. So yeah, and it was weird because like there was a point in the debate when they were talking about Palestine, and then it's like when one was talking about Ukraine, the other one was talking about Israel, and then when the other was talking about Israel, the other one was talking about Ukraine, and it was like weird because like they were kind of responding to each other, but like at different times, and like the topics they were talking about were like completely random, and on top of that, like I've seen a lot of people complain about the fact that there were no like fact checkers, but like I personally don't care about the fact that there are no fact checkers, but also this was supposed to be like pre-recorded, if I'm not mistaken. So if it was pre-recorded, why weren't there fact checkers? Do you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make sense to me. But also like whatever. I don't care if it was pre-recorded or not. At the end of the day, it's like I feel like it was a very lazy debate. Like lazy from the part of Biden, lazy from the part of Trump, and lazy from the part of CNN. Also, like it felt very like last minute. I like there were moments where like I think I think at some point Biden was blaming Putin and saying that Trump had. I don't even know if this was a chatter or Biden, but like someone had said something about like Trump and Putin being like friends or something, and I was like, what are you talking about? But it was just like a bad, bad. It was just bad programming. It was straight up just bad television. Like on an entertainment level, it just wasn't it. You know? Like, and it's interesting because, like, I know that there were a lot of people laughing, Kay. For example, like, I get why there were a lot of people laughing at it because it was just very unhinged. And if I wasn't this, not doomered out, but like, I just hate like these two people disgust me so much that I'm like, is this really what you're going to be doing? Like, but yeah. But yeah. Hi, Steel Lungs. Welcome. How are you doing? Good morning. Even though it's not morning. It's not morning by any metric. But yeah. For telling people to vote Biden all this time. Yeah, you should be apologizing. I'm glad I was shaming you since the beginning. Hello? But yeah, other than that, okay, two things. Okay, so like there is a little possibility that the interview with Adrian happens today, but I'm not sure. So if it happens today, it happens today, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But there is like a little possibility that it happens. So if it happens, it happens, and I have it all ready for the interview if it happens. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and that's okay. From a debate standpoint, Trump won. From a political standpoint, we all. Do you really think that Trump won from the debate? To be honest, I feel like I kind of zoned out. I feel like as soon as the debate ended, I was like, I need to delete all of what I just watched from my memory. But yeah, I felt like Trump and Biden really represented the U.S. right now. Liars, out of touch, failing. Literally. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. Oh my god. When Adrian sleeps. That's the thing. It's like the thing is like we never set up an exact time because they never really replied to me as to when they wanted the time for the interview to be. And they have like a weird schedule. So yeah, like if it doesn't happen today, it's fine. Like it will happen another day, and I have no problem. Uh, but yeah, yes, the conscious person won. I mean, I wouldn't even say that the conscious person won. Oh, I guess. Oh, I guess if you want to, like, isn't that so sad? Like that's depressing. Like US electoralism has become straight up depressing. Like not even just like boring or useless. I mean, it's becoming boring, which I think it's almost worse than becoming depressing, because becoming depressing means that you are feeling something at least. Boring, but when it becomes boring, it's like, oh wow, I don't care. But yeah, by Biden for sure lost. I would say that still longs. I would say that, yeah. But yeah. Um I'm trying to think of anything else that they mentioned. Didn't Trump at some point blame climate change on Mexico or something, or on immigrants? Hmm. But yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, tell, if I hear someone saying that people should vote for Biden after this, the thing is, like, it's fucked up, because how is how is this debate going to be the line of people shouldn't be saying that you should vote for Biden, but like the Palestinian genocide wasn't the line already? How was Roe v. Wade? Yes, yes, Trin. How was like Roe v. Wade being overturned not the line already? How was, you know, him passing the crime bill before he was even vice president, the line for people not voting for him? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's crossed so many lines that I don't get why anyone would vote for Biden. And when I say this, it's like, if I'm telling you not to vote for Biden, it's already understood that you shouldn't vote for Trump either. But yeah. But yeah. So yeah. Talking about that, talking about voting, I will, after next week, I will restart working on the essay about not voting that I was working on, and I really want to finish it. Though I think I will first finish editing the interviews that I have, and then I'll finish it. But other than that, like, I really want to finish that video. So yeah. And yeah, I think we can get into the videos that I have for today. Finn just dropped a video talking about why if straight people belong at Pride. Personally, I think straight people don't belong anywhere. But yeah, just kidding. On Mastodon, the popular page is filled with people still promoting Binance. What is Mastodon? They usually just stick with Trump is worse. Interesting. How long till you vote in your first Australian election? Oh my god, don't even get this right. I actually I was thinking about that, and the thing is, like, I have to renew my ID because it's going to expire next year, and there will probably be an election either this year or next year. And I'm like, actually, there should have been an election this year, if I'm not mistaken. No, next year. Yeah, next year there should be an election. Because it's every 5 years, though I feel like that is a lie, but I don't know. Well, either way, I will have to vote within the next 2 years, so I need to renew my ID so I can vote. But yeah. So yeah. Hi Dorian, welcome. Abolish redacted indeed. But yeah, Mastodon is a free and open source software for running self-hosted social networking services. That seems like a Twitter, but for the penguin. Um, Linux. That seems like a Twitter, but for Linux. Yeah. Please explain why you're moving to Australia. Why you are moving to Australia? Well, I need to go to Mexico to renew my voting card this year. Ooh, fun. Uh, is their selling point interesting? Okay, so I'm moving to Australia because basically the Australian government offers a scholarship for people to for international students to study in Australia in like rural institutions. And so because I will be able to afford tuition, and I've wanted to get out of Peru for my entire life since I was 7, if I remember correctly. So yeah, and yeah, so yeah, but also, um, it's like the thing is like I know I'm going to come back to Peru eventually, so yeah, it's like I know it's not in my cards to live abroad and like yeah, but yeah, and seeing more of the world sounds right. Yeah, so yeah. Other than that, yeah, and what will you study? I'm going to study tourism and hospitality, and apparently, today I was checking like the courses that I'll be taking, and apparently I'm just going to have like 2 courses per term, which is like not a lot at all. So I'm going to have like a lot of time to work and stream, which is also work. So to work and work, but still. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm going to have more time than when I was studying film. But yeah. Um, but yeah. Yeah, because like the other day I was thinking, why am I moving to Australia and not Canada? Because I wanted to study film in Canada, and then I thought, oh yeah, because in Australia I am not paying for tuition. Well, I am paying like 10%. The scholarship that the Australian government offers is like 90-85% of the tuition. But yeah, but still, like in comparison, it's like nothing. But yeah. Then will you open a tourist resort with your expertise? No. I was thinking like okay, I'm not gonna lie, if I truly stay in that like industry, I see myself more in like working in a hotel and like being and being an escort. Just kidding. Um, yeah, but I don't know. Like, I am just hoping and praying that I'm not going to get like super bad depression studying something I don't really. The I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, knock on wood. I'm not going to die. But yeah. Ah, but it's still a good deal, though. Yes, I mean yes. Um, cause yeah, Is it? No, yeah, it is. Um, you'll be fine. Thank you. uh, oh my god, the company I work for is based in Australia. Oh, interesting. Fun. The thing is, like, no, I would prefer you to stay alive. Thank you. Um, what was I thinking? Oh, the thing is, like, even though I will be in a rural area, I'm still like an hour away from Adelaide City, from the city of Adelaide. So I'll still be close to like the city. Um, and yeah, so yeah, I don't have that much else to talk about, honestly, or at least in relation to this right now. Oh yeah. Also, today I was like playing with the YouTube settings. Oh yeah, by the way, like the stream if you haven't already, because that like helps the algorithm and stuff. Um, Today I was playing with the YouTube settings and on my phone, and I will be able to stream. So yeah, I will be streaming me in the airports and all the stuff. But yeah, Adelaide, Adelaide, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, when are you moving? I'm officially like I am leaving Peru on the 13th. I am allegedly arriving Australia on the 15th. Then the 17th and 18th, I have an orientation course or an orientation guide kind of thing. Then on the 22nd, I have another orientation thingy. And allegedly, my first class is the 23rd or 24th or 22nd also, which I'm like, it's weird, but also I am going to like email people because like I'm kind of confused, but yeah, that's so soon. Yeah, I mean the thing is like I've waited. Like the thing is like I've been doing this process since last year. Like this is why I took the English exam. This is why like I had to renew my passport. I had to renew a lot of things and doing all the forms and the documents and that I've always been mentioning throughout the stream but never quite mentioned why. And I waited until I got the visa to be like, okay, now I can talk about it on stream because when I talk about it, when I talk about things, sometimes I jinx them. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to say anything until it is like officialized. So yeah. But yeah, no, like when I was doing the IRL streams after my swimming classes, like since before then I was doing the process. So yeah, like I want to say almost a year, but I don't think it was quite a year, but yeah, like it was a lot. It was like a lot, but yeah. Just checked for religion in Australia, and there are people in like 3 coastal areas. What the fuck is in the rest of Australia? I mean, yeah, like in Australia, people just live like in the south, in some parts of Queensland, and then the rest is just like desert, and it's like indigenous people and oil mining companies, I guess, or that's my guess, but I don't know. But yeah, but even though I know that there is a lot of mining in Perth, which is like the west coast, so yeah. But I'm still like I'm not east coast, but I'm on the west of the east coast. Because like Australia is like up here, so I'm like basically in the left side of the right gluteus. But yeah, no jinx that way. I mean, yeah, so yeah. But yeah. Other than that, yeah. And the thing is, like, I should be fundraising for for the ticket. I thought that was a make believe city in Game of Thrones. What? I mean, I've never watched Game of Thrones. Cause like people say that the interesting part of Game of Thrones is the politics, but also I feel like there's a lot of liberals saying that, and I'm scared. Like you somewhat shaped like an upside U, Adelaide inside the eastern branch of yeah. So yeah. Oh, but yeah. But yeah. But also my goal is to look. I don't want to jinx it, okay? But my goal is to have all the Pride interviews up on YouTube and have the no voting video. My goals are to have all the Pride interviews uploaded, like edited and uploaded to YouTube by the time I get to the plane, basically, and have at least the entire script for the no voting video done. So yeah, like I still want to have like things pre-raised, so yeah, but yeah, like even better would be like if the no voting video essay is like recorded and I would just have to edit it, but even then, but still, but I'm scared, but whatever, but yeah. So yeah, is your mom supportive? Yes, yes. I mean, if she wasn't, like, I don't know if how else I could have done it, because been like it's like it's been a lot of money, but not that much, but still a lot. So yeah, and yeah, so I'm like, I will pay you in like 2 years, but yeah, so yeah. There was a lot of filler in Game of Thrones after season 1 and 2, and it came to a head at the end, but the producer decided to black everything out, so we don't know what the fuck happened. Wait, what? What do you mean decided to black everything out? But also, I just know that, look, the only thing that I watched from Game of Thrones is that one last scene, that ending scene that everyone hated. And all I have to say is that I watched that scene with no fucking context, and I still hated it. I was like, wow. You're meaning to tell you're telling me that these women worked for 6 seasons to get to the throne, and you are not going to even allow her to sit in the throne for like a mere fucking second? I was like, okay, she could have at least sit in the throne and then get up and you can kill her. But like, not even allowing her to sit in the throne. Hello? That was just evil. That was just sexism, honestly. It was so dark that you couldn't tell what was happening. Oh, interesting. Patriarchy, am I right? Oh my god. So much filler. It should have been 3 seasons and 3 books max. Interesting. I read all the books and there is no slow. There is no slow? What do you mean there's no slow? There you are. Okay. Okay, I will say something. Um, the downfall of streaming on YouTube is that everything. I read all the books and there is no show. What do you mean no show? Do you mean that and you didn't watch the show? I'm so confused. But that the sorry, I was wrong. It's okay. Don't worry. Allegedly. The downfall of streaming on YouTube is that everything is so like Chrome dependent. Cause sometimes I try to get to like open settings for streaming and I cannot open them on Opera. I cannot open them in Edge. So I have to open Chrome now. And I hate opening Chrome. Because I hate Chrome. So yeah. Like that's it. But yeah. The show does not exist. I refuse to acknowledge it. Fair. But yeah. Okay. Look, also I don't know YouTube law. So I don't know how much we will be able to get away with like watching YouTube videos on YouTube. Allegedly, I have heard that it's possible. And if it's not, unlike Twitch, YouTube only hits you with copyright and tells you, hey, you shouldn't do this. Bad person, and that's it. And it's not until the third copyright strike that you get your channel deleted forever, but you still have like a warning, like, so yeah. Okay, so let's go. Do straight people belong in Pride? Belong at Pride? One in chat if you think no, two in chat if you think no. Thank you. We can fuck up 3 times. Yeah, but also I'm not going to try to push it too much. But yeah. But yeah, other than that, I had wait.
Ah, yes.
I have what? Wait, what? Oh, I do. Oh, that's the thing. It's like I don't think I can get drunk on YouTube, which I hate. But I will say, since today I sent the claim, and hopefully they'll. Since today I sent the appeal, and hopefully they'll allow me to return to Twitch before I before I um before I before I leave Peru, um I would like to have a drunk stream before I leave to Australia, because I will still, because in Australia I'll be alone. So I don't think it would be a good idea to be like drunk alone. So and the thing is, like, I've gotten drunk, never blackout drunk, and I don't really plan to get blackout drunk either on stream, but still. And so I want to get drunk on stream if we can stream on Twitch before I leave to Australia. And and yeah, I don't know what I will do, but all I know is that I just want to have a drunk stream. Why? I don't know. I just know I want to. Because it's always been like a. I don't know. But yeah. I'm like 4 to 5 drinks ahead of you. Look, Sam, we've already talked about your alcoholism. We don't have to get into it right now. But yeah. I was straight at Pride once. I was straight at Pride once. Well, the thing is, like, you were never straight. So, were you ever straight at one at Pride? Were you ever straight at Pride? But yeah.
Ah, yes. Another pride, another contrived.
Also, it is like Finn looks absurdly hot in this top jacket sleeveless thing situation. But yeah, is this drunk with by yourself or with others? I think by myself. The thing is, like, I don't know, because the thing is, like, Frames has invited me to be drunk on his stream. And so I'm thinking, I guess I could invite people to get drunk with me. But the thing is, like, they would have to accept to be drunk with me, like, on stream. So yeah. So okay, if you want to get drunk on stream, you are invited. But yeah. With others in chat, no stream. I'm not going to enable your alcoholism. Thank you very much. You're welcome. But yeah. Okay.
Discourse seemingly for the express purpose of infighting. Is it trauma? Is it a psyop? Is it deeply counterproductive? Yes. Let's talk about that. Hello, Swolemates. Welcome/welcome back, and dog bless you.
Also, is Finn's voice is Finn's volume good? Because in general he has very like low videos, so I don't know if it's good. But yeah, for you. But yeah.
Straight people. They live among us.
Ew.
They look just like you and me. They are members of our community.
That's not true. I've seen straight people. But yeah. Smoke weed instead. I cannot smoke weed. It's illegal here. But yeah. Seems good to me. Thank you, Dorian. Yes. I don't typically drink anymore because I am hungover for several days since I've gotten old, but I will get drunk with. Oh my god, let's go.
Communities, doctors, nurses, teachers, you yourself may be related to one or more heterosexuals.
Yeah.
Straight people. I am qualified to talk about them because my bisexuality is best described as straight. But like, in a gay way. Straight people. Hi. How's it going? I'm actually half straight on my father's side, so we have a lot in common. Straight people.
I feel like both of I'm not gonna lie, I feel like both of my parents are kind of gay. Cause like my father is like so toxic masculinity that it's like So you're just like overcompensating because you're insecure about yourself because you're hiding things. So you're either gay or bi or some queerness or something something. But yeah, but I it's like I know my mom is pretty fucking gay. Just kidding. But yeah, but she doesn't know it, so don't tell her I told you. But yeah. Uh,
The term heterosexual was coined alongside the term homosexual back in 1869, nice, by Hungarian writer and human rights advocate Karl Maria Kurtbeny. Some believe he was a closeted gay man, some argue otherwise, but I'm going to go with what the man said himself. Kurtbeny, far from perfect but ahead of his time, regarded himself as normal sex, i.e. heterosexual, but explored sex with men because, hey, why not? If you're going to write about
nice.
something with any kind of authority, you gotta get in there and experience it for yourself. This distinction in behavior that Kurtbeny assigned language to informed gay slang in the mid-1900s, the term straight, to refer to heterosexuals. Straight people. If you enjoy the term straight or heterosexual, you can thank the gays and their lifelong accomplice, an apparently heterosexual man who unapologetically knew his way around another man's dick. Straight people. Do they belong at Pride? Well,
If that's beer, then I can get. Oh my god. Finn confirmed. I'm inviting Finn to get drunk.
I love all of you. I really do. But do we really have to do
It's for
this
science.
every year? Like, where do you guys get the energy? Are you not tired from being up for 2 days straight? The first for the partying, the second for the time it took to scrub glitter out of every crevice? Or tired from all the yarn bombing and tarot reading? I see you too. Whether it is throwing out the historical significance of the leather scene, snarling at asexuals just for existing as they are, or this apparent ire toward our heterosexually inclined gals and pals, I have some questions. Where is the gate? Who is in charge of it? And what does at Pride even mean? Like, genuinely. Are we talking about the parades that are now just
It means existing during June. So basically, straight people should cease to exist during June. And if any of them make themselves like known, like if any of them make their existence be known during June, they should go to jail. But yeah.
just one big capitalist circle jerk? Or the many, many events that range in everything from nature walks to bathhouse buddy bonding? Is it all Pride events or just the spicy ones? Or can the straight people be where the kink apparently is? The kink that nobody has explained or defined either? Just kink? Like, it has that same vagueness as at Pride.
Imagine. I was going to say, imagine gay people having a kink for straight people. But gay people do be having a kink for straight people, though.
Someone explain. I don't understand. I really don't. Or do we just mean the entire month of June? Like, straight people can
Yes.
exist, but they have to barricade themselves indoors purge style. Only the threat is being
Yes!
force-fed lemon squares and indoctrinated into bad
Let's
posture rather than...
go! Finn got it. Finn got it.
Killed? I don't know, I don't watch that shit. From where I'm standing, it kind of looks like we are trying to enforce the same power structures we are meant to be escaping from. Those built on rigid categories, assigning labels to other people, and adhering to a hierarchy. But, you know, what do I know? This video is probably going to make some people mad, and that is fine. You are allowed to be mad. Just know before you comment that I can tell when somebody is offering genuine constructive feedback based on the things that I've actually said, and when someone is inferring things in my statement and using me as a scapegoat to channel all of their rage at because I'm visible on the internet. And with that out of the way, it's story time. Once upon a time, there was a girl from a tiny little town in the middle of booty-slapping nowhere. Quiet, introverted, a bit of a weirdo,
Booty slapping
and
no.
straight as an arrow. At least, that's what she told people. That's what you were supposed to tell people. That was the default state of being. Coming from her tiny little hometown where there were exactly 2 out gays her age and both
Ew.
had been beaten bloody more than once by their classmates, straight was the only viable option. She got bullied enough for her ill-defined oddness, it was best not to put any fuel on that fire. Thus, straight was how she lived her every waking moment. That is, up until she moved to the big city. Having lived in her tiny little hometown for nearly 2 decades, the girl was used to everyone knowing everyone, to being recognized at every turn with a detailed social record looming over you at all times, a record that could be tarnished if you deviated from what was considered normal or acceptable. But in the city, there was a certain amount of anonymity in being just another face in the crowd. Safety in numbers. The liberating feeling of not being singled out for being a little weird. In fact, the attention that weirdness drew came from other people who were themselves a little weird. A little queer, if you will. It made queerness start to feel normal. Something most of us are taught we should be. Something that keeps you safe from being beaten bloody.
I always find this contradiction kind of interesting of how sometimes being in community makes people feel less safe than the alienation of solitude, because of how we have been conditioned by colonialism, we judge people, we judge others, and we judge others, we judge people who we know harder. So that means that when you're in community and you think that you know people, they are kind of like put in a box, like without, and it doesn't have to be like kind of like on purpose, but because there's like, because the expectations are so like close to each other, there is less room for like experimentation, I guess. And so instead of being able to feel safe within a community and explore and knowing that people will stay by your side regardless, being in that environment under a colonialist system makes people feel like they will be even more judged, and they are in more of a box, and they have more expectations, and they are less safe if they experiment. And so when they go into the big city, or like places where alienation is more stark and rampant and like, you know, bigger, to put it in a way, like there is less community, people feel more comfortable being themselves because there are less stakes, because there is less people to judge them. Do you know what I mean? And so it's interesting how that dynamic or those dynamics work under colonialism, because when you contrast that to how indigenous people live or lived, it's like before before the white man came, like a lot of indigenous uh cultures, civilizations, etc., like had more fluidity with gender, right? Like they had less like restrictions in expressions of any kind. And so like people were just safe to be whatever they wanted. But then like colonialism brought all of this, brought gender and race and all of these like systems by all of these systems to oppress people and to like put them in a box and to judge them and all of that. And so that brought the shame of if you deviate from these colonialist boxes, you are wrong. Because historically, like colonizers killed the people who were not in those boxes, right? For example, Nazi Germany, or even like straight up like colonizers killing two-spirited native people, you know, like or cutting the hair of indigenous people regardless of their gender because they knew that hair was they not only knew that hair was sacred to indigenous people, but they also had to force assimilate them, and hair is a key component of gender presentation under colonialist rule, and so literally they would cut their hair in order to force assimilate them, and if they didn't cut their hair they would literally kill them. So yeah, like yeah, you literally get called a deviant, and it's like you are literally deviating from the colonialist norms, right? Like that. So yeah, I think that like those dynamics are very interesting and contrasting, like before colonialist living and colonialist living. Like there, like before colonialism there were not those kind of contradictions, you know, or at the very least there weren't as heavy to like, you know. But yeah, people sometimes have to move away from everyone they know in order to reinvent themselves. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, it's not that they reinvent themselves, but most of the time is that they were never themselves in the first place, and in order to be themselves how they've always wanted to be, they need to go to a place where where people around them have no expectations for them, you know. Like, and again, it's those like colonialist, those expectations that makes it so that if you are in a community per se, to call it in a way, you know, you're less you have less wiggle room to experiment and to be yourself at the end of the day, you know. But yeah.
Normal. Keeps you safe. Something most of us are taught we should be. Something that keeps you safe from being beaten bloody. Normal. Something only straightness used to offer. She began to realize that maybe straight wasn't mandatory. It certainly wasn't the best way to describe her identity. She had spent years hiding behind the label, and that was a hard habit to break. But seeing queerness as its own normal helped. It made it safer to question and explore things that were previously unaddressed. And the more she explored, the more free she felt, the happier she became. She couldn't help but wonder what would have happened had she never connected with this new normal, with the people who welcomed her in to share it despite her previous label. There were certainly some who saw her former straightness as something worthy of scrutiny or distrust, but a much greater number who didn't question, lead, or pressure her one way or the other.
That's interesting because the thing about the Q in LGBTQIA2+ is that Q is not only queer, Q is also questioning. And so, at least for me, if you're questioning, then you are not straight. You are questioning. Like, you're still in a nebulous place where you are not sure. You might have like queer inklings, you might feel like, oh, maybe I'm not fully cis or fully straight or fully whatever they have like colonial society has assigned to me to be, you know. And the thing is, like, if you after that questioning phase, stage, whatever, conclude that, oh no, I am I am straight, I am cis, I am like allosexual and alloromantic, and you know, all of the normative patriarchal labels, you know, then that's fine. But once you have like, if you stop questioning and you decide to go with the straight label per se, like, you are no longer part of, you know. But like it, I feel like it's kind of weird because it's not about like, because I know that Finn is probably going to make the point of like, um straight people need to be like, should be allowed in certain queer spaces in order for them to realize that maybe they are queer. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I also feel like I'm maybe getting ahead of myself. Because the thing is, like, it's not like I like when I say when I say that straight people should disappear in June, I'm obviously joking. But when we're talking about straight people in Pride, when I say Pride, I mean like explicit Pride celebrations, explicit Pride queer events on Pride. It's not about like the fact that straight people mustn't be in those spaces or that straight people shouldn't be in those spaces. It's about that those spaces were created in the first place for queer people, and straight people should be able to respect that. Like, we shouldn't have to like be asking, oh, how do you identify? Do you know what I mean? Because like, we never know. But apart from that, it's like, if you identify as straight and you are questioning, but you are not identifying as questioning, but you are questioning and you want to be part of this space, you should feel you should know that even though you can be welcomed and you can participate, you are still you're still a guest. You are not like part, but it's like, I don't even know how to word it, because I don't it's like, I don't want to alienate people either. And I feel like I'm wording it in a very alienation way, but but that's the thing, right? Like, if you are questioning, that you are questioning. You're on thin ice. I unironically feel like I'm on thin ice, but like for myself, because it's like it's like, I don't care if like someone comes in and tells me, "Oh, you're not accepting of straight people." It's like I genuinely don't know how to exactly word what I want to say. And so I'm like kind of going with the extreme language first in order to like go back and return to what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I was trying to finish. Oh, okay. But yeah, no, but yeah, but I'm like, I guess like what I'm mainly asking from non-queer people who want to be in queer spaces is the awareness of the space and respect, you know, and that if there are people and if there are queer people who want to who like actively don't want you in that space, they have to understand why. And it's not personal, but it's about how historically queer people have been kicked out of other spaces. And so it is it can be triggering for queer people to have a space and then a straight person or a non-queer person comes in. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and again, it kind of goes back to it's not about forbidding non-queer people from queer spaces. It's more about allowing queer people to have queer spaces on their own, and we can still be like welcoming, but sometimes, but because sometimes there will be people who like kind of take advantage of those spaces, then the only response sometimes feels like is, oh, now we need to like restrict our spaces. And that is a logical next step and people to understand that. But just because it's a logical step doesn't mean that it is the best way to approach things. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm rambling a lot, but also I'm like, I don't know how the word is, but yeah. Oh, okay. I've been questioning for like 10 years, lol. But the thing is, like, if you, like, you already know you are somewhat queer. You know what I mean? You're like already there. The thing is, like, as a straight person who is questioning themselves but is in denial about the questioning, I don't know how truly beneficial it could be. Because if they are like already denying themselves the possibility of questioning, then you know. But I feel like that's another argument. I don't Somehow this reminds me of how when Kwame Ture said that when he was talking to someone, they said that they weren't sure about God, and he said that once you start questioning if there is a God, then that means you no longer believe in God. I mean, yeah, that's why I'm like, if you're questioning, like that's why questioning is part of the queer community. But yeah. Also, hi, L Jackson. Welcome. Oh my god. Hi. But yeah, journey before destination. Yeah, I'm not questioning anymore. I'm pretty sure I know exactly where I land. But it took me 40 years to figure that out. Yeah, that's another thing, right? Like it probably wouldn't have taken you 40-ish years if people were open about queerness, if you were taught about queer identities on school, uh, if there wasn't colonialism, but yeah. Exclusion is inherently alienating. Yeah, I think if a straight wants to be there in good faith, I wouldn't want to do anything to make them leave. Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of like the point. Like, it's not about like there shouldn't be straight because they are straight. It's like there shouldn't be bad faced people, and the bad faced people tend to be straight, but that doesn't mean that all straights are bad faced. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. I don't give white cis or het people the benefit of the doubt. I try to automatically side with who is on the other side of that argument, debate, etc. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is another conversation. But yeah, like not many times, but sometimes, like I've taken that stance, and then I hear out the both of the arguments, and then I'm like, oh, this brown person is a conservative. But then I'll go, okay, but sometimes, the white person is being kind of like chauvinistic about how they are correcting the brown person, and it's like, okay, like, yeah, the brown person may be in the wrong, but also you might be wrong also. But yeah. Know you're a guest and behave like a good guest. Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like the guest phrasing is still like somewhat alienating. But I don't know how else to put it. Because I feel like the guest framework is like the most accurate. But I feel like I want to find a more inclusive word. Because guest also means like outsider, but also like I guess straight people are outsiders in this like metaphor. But I don't know. If you're questioning, you're not in yet. Be respectful guest. Hmm. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like I don't disagree with the guest questioning. I just feel like I can come up. I feel like we can come up with a more inviting phrase to put it in a way. I don't know. It's like it's like it's much less alienating than outsider. A person shouldn't feel bad about being a guest. It's kind of an honor, actually. Yes. I mean, yeah, but it's just me being like, you're a guest, but also I love you and I want to hug you and you're welcome here, but you're a guest. But also I love you. So it's just me being like kind of too soft, I guess, right now. But yeah. I'm like, you're a guest, but you're still very welcome. But don't kill us. Okay. I saw
They say
what happened in Peru. I hope you're okay. I am okay. I will always be okay, sadly, because I'm in a pretty. Look, I'm privileged enough where I am, but yeah, it's fucked up, and yeah, I've been taking a lot of drugs, and by taking a lot of drugs, I mean paying attention to U.S. politics, because I am actively avoiding paying attention to Peruvian politics, because it's a fucking mess. But yeah. Okay, let's continue the video.
simply provide question, lead, or pressure her, but among who saw her former straightness as something worthy of scrutiny or distrust. But a much greater number who didn't question, lead, or pressure her one way or the other. They simply
Oh yeah, by the way, I left the I think okay, I will say that this is the benefit of streaming on YouTube. Now I have a description that I can edit per stream. And so I think in the description of this stream there's a link to the video we're watching. And so I think that is fun. Okay, because I can update the description based on what we're watching, and it's so like, okay. Oh my god, look at me, I'm a YouTuber. Video.
simply provided an accepting space for her to do her own work. So she embraced her sexuality, embodied her truth, and lived happily ever after. Except, psych, you knew it was a story about me all along. I used to be a cisgender heterosexual woman, and now I am a transgender bisexual man. Riddle me that.
Holy double identity!
I used to consider myself a straight person. A straight cis person, no less, and I'm sure many of the queerdos watching this can say the same. I'm sure many of you watching still feel the most comfortable with that label. But you like it here. You like being around people like little old me. And maybe that's just how it is. Like, maybe that's just how it is. Maybe you just feel more comfortable in queer spaces because you have done a lot of identity work and you appreciate the fluidity of them. We're gonna get into that. Maybe there are underlying reasons that you have yet to interrogate and don't really feel
Riddle me
comfortable
that.
or ready to. It doesn't matter because it's nobody's fucking business but yours. Compulsory
Ooh.
heterosexuality is one hell of a drug, my friends, and despite growing acceptance of queerness, not everybody can just punch their way through it. Some just don't self-advocate like others might, some haven't had the opportunity to explore, some have very good reason to be in hiding and don't owe anyone an explanation. And I gotta ask, how can anyone look at anyone else and make that call? How can you look at another person?
Okay, that's a good point. About like, I can imagine a scenario where like someone is saying that they are cishet and they want to be a part of queer spaces because they are queer but in the closet, but they are still calling themselves like straight slash cishet because it's safer, and they are kind of scared that if they openly say that they are not cishet, then their secret is going to come out and whatever, and that's going to have like real repercussions with their life. And so I get it, but also that is kind of not, how do I put it? It's like kind of not on the space, but rather on the people within the space to be respectful of that. But at the same time, it's like weird, 'cause like how straight can you be if you're like continuously going to queer spaces? But at the same time, it's like it's kind of none of our business. But at the same time, how are you engaging with people in queer spaces? And you don't want that to be known. So like it gets to a point where it's like realistically, I don't know how well your plan is going to work. Cause like if you just want to be closeted in queer spaces, then why are you in queer spaces in the first place? The patriarchy was a mistake. We should just assume that everyone is non-binary. We should just assume that everyone is non-binary and bisexual until they state otherwise. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. And I was thinking about like what is the middle of, I guess, demisexual also. I don't think that's how sexuality works. Whatever. But yeah. For the community. But like why specifically the queer community? Do you know what I mean? Cause it's like, cause how many times have I seen or has the scenario been presented of like there's a group of queer people and there's only one straight people within the group of queer people, and like years later, oh, turns out this straight person is actually not straight, you know, and it's like, yeah, we knew, honey, we knew, but like, but also it's like everyone's on their journey and like they are valid. Straight people are valid, but also are they? Are they like? Do straight people really exist? I don't know, but yeah. I assume everyone is at least 1% gay until proven otherwise. But could we ever be sure? Oh my god.
And just know what their identity is. And I ask this because I've had to ask myself that before.
What?
And just else and make that call. How can you look at another person and just know what their identity is? And I ask this because I've had to ask myself that before. I have fallen into this trap. I'm gonna just answer the question for you. You can't. But what you can do is alienate a queer person from a space that they might need to access in order to be themselves. Straight people.
I mean, but that's
once.
the thing, right? Like, I am having this entire conversation based on whether the person in question has stated themselves that they are straight, not just based on what they look like. Like, I feel like it's silly because sure there are queer people who are more like overtly gay, to put it in a way, like who are more like who present themselves in ways that can signal queerness more explicitly, I guess. But just because a person doesn't decides not to present in those explicitly queer ways doesn't mean that they are not queer, because even though the queer presentation or queer signals can vary, because it could be as overt as like dressing in a rainbow t-shirt that says I'm gay, you know, to just like a pride bracelet or like a pride necklace or whatever, to not wearing anything of that kind at all. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, like, or even then, like, I, and that's why I think sometimes, that's why sometimes I think that straight people maybe shouldn't paint their nails. But at the same time, it's like fuck gender, whatever. They should be allowed to paint their nails. But at the same time, it's like sometimes like I paint my nails as a way to express my gender nonconformity. But then when I see cishet men with their painted nails, well, to be fair, most of them just paint their nails black, which is like fine. But also, I paint my nails black sometimes, but it's stressful. But the thing is, like, I just want to be Hassan's boyfriend. Okay, let's continue. I'm confused.
Could be many queer what you can do is alienate a queer person from a space that they might need to access in order to be themselves. Straight people. Could have been you once, and it could be many queer people still. It was certainly me, and even when I acknowledged my sexuality, I still appeared to be a straight cis woman because I was dating a straight cis man. A straight cis man who was supportive of my bisexuality in ways many other queer people weren't, specifically because I was in a relationship that was straight passing. A straight cis man who saw my struggles with gender dysphoria and encouraged me to do what I needed to do to feel comfortable in my own skin, even knowing what that would likely mean for our relationship. Turns out I was not as straight or cis as my origins led.
Okay, you paint your nails black stuff. I mean, not always. Like, I mean, I haven't painted my nails black in like years, just because my mom doesn't have black nail polish. But I feel like once I get to Australia, the first thing I will do is buy black nail polish. Well, black and blue, but yeah.
Led me to believe. But he was, and he still is, as my knowing what that would likely mean for our relationship. Turns out I was not as straight or cis as my origins led me to believe, but he was, and he still is. And had I not had him in my corner, had the familiarity and the comfort of our friendship as my entire life turned upside down while I explored my identity, I don't know where I would be right now. To say that a queer person dating a straight person is in a straight relationship reinforces this idea of heterosexuality as the default, as something that is stronger than other forms of love and expression. This is why many of us believe instead that a straight person dating a queer person is in a queer relationship.
This is interesting because even though I do believe that it takes at least one person in a relationship to be queer for that relationship to be queer. When Finn presents the argument of, or the hypothetical that straightness is heavier, is stronger, I feel like it is, because we're still in a heteronormative society. You know what I mean? It's in the description, Dorian. It's in the description of the stream. Um, but you can also, and you can pin it. I think you can pin it also. Yeah. But, oh, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. But it's like, I think we can still acknowledge that it is stronger, like, heterosexually perceived relationship, or rather the perception of a queer relationship to be heteronormative can be stronger because of the heteronormativity. You need to make a comment. It's like Twitch. You have to comment it and then pin it. I think Sam posted the link earlier, or was that yesterday? I forgot. But yeah. Um what was I saying? Okay. I feel like we can acknowledge the fact that the perceived heterosexuality of a relationship is stronger than the queerness of the relationship in itself because of the society and system that we live in that is heteronormative. And even though that perception can be stronger, that doesn't mean that just because it's stronger, it is true, or that it is not fallacious, or it is not counterproductive to our liberation, because at the end of the day, it is, you know? But I think we still kind of need to acknowledge that that strength does exist because of the system that we live in. And that is a way to kind of like, I mean, y'all should have permissions to pin it, but I can pin it. Wait, I cannot pin it. Through the solar system. Okay. Remove post, report, and block. Oh, interesting. I will see if I can do something about it. But yeah. But yeah, acknowledging the system, I think it's something important. So yeah. Yeah.
Us believe instead that a straight person dating a queer person is in a queer relationship, not the other way around. Speaking for myself, I believe this because I think that human expression is more powerful than the hegemonic systems put in place to limit it. Straight partners do not human expression is more powerful than the other way around. Speaking for myself, I believe this because I think that human expression is more powerful than the hegemonic systems put in place to limit.
I do believe it. I do believe in this, yes. But just because it is more powerful than the hegemonic system doesn't mean that the hegemonic system doesn't exist. And because the hegemonic system still exists, we need to acknowledge it in order to know to target it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because let's say that there's a bi guy and a bi girl that they are dating, and they're just walking. I think it's more meaningful. I don't know about more powerful. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that is true. Still lines. Yeah. But the thing is, what I was going with this example is like, if we see like a bi guy and a bi girl walking, and they are in a relationship, and we don't know anything about them, we just see them walking, holding hands, maybe kissing. Like, we are just going to literally me. Like, people are just going to see that and assume, oh, that's a straight relationship, you know? Like, but unless unless you know them, unless you know that any or both of them are bi, let alone what if they are polyamorous or in an open relationship, we don't even know that. But like if you just see two people from the opposite gender, I hate that, walking, you're just going to assume, oh, they're in a straight relationship. And like, no matter how. Wait, sometimes they think we're lesbian. Oh my god, still alive. But like, no matter how much they can exist as bisexual people, because like, how do you exist as bisexual? Do you know what I mean? Like, no matter how much bisexuality they exude, like no matter what, people are still going to perceive them as straight until otherwise stated. Do you know what I mean? And that has meaning. That has power. Yeah, that has power. You know, like unless there are. That's the thing, right? Like you shouldn't have to be like wearing a T-shirt that says "I am bisexual actually, but I'm in a relationship with a woman," and then the woman has "I'm bisexual actually, but I'm in a relationship with a man," and in the back that doesn't erase my bisexuality. Like unless you're wearing a T-shirt like that, let's say, like they will be kind of reinforcing that normative structure because of the nature of how structures work. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's not their fault. It's just how the system works. Like, and that's why I'm like, they shouldn't have to wear a t-shirt that says, I'm bisexual, but I'm dating the opposite gender. And that doesn't erase my bisexuality. You know what I mean? I should make that t-shirt. So yeah, I don't even know what I was saying, but you get my point. Maybe we should put labels on ourselves with exact sexual identities and our exact sexual orientation. But that's the thing, right? Like, I don't think that's like. I know you're being ironic or sarcastic, Sam, but at the same time, it's like until we reach a point, it's like that's the longest paragraph. I'm dating. I'm dating. No, I'm bisexual, but I'm dating the opposite. The opposite gender. That's like 4 lines. Yeah, I think I can fit 4 lines. Uh, and in the back, and that doesn't erase my bisexuality. Yeah, 4 and 3 lines. Yeah, I can make it work. But yeah. Um yeah, abolish straight people. No, but the thing is like until we reach a point, until we defeat until we abolish the patriarchy, which is going to be the last system to abolish in all honesty. I mean, like don't assume I'm straight. I guess that is a good one. Okay, I'm going to put it in mod chat so that I can remember. Um. Okay, sorry. uh, where a person is pointing at their temple. What emote? Haha, think. Are you talking about Twitch emote in my YouTube stream? Oh yeah, this emote, yeah. Wow. Okay, let's continue. I'm drunk.
it. Straight partners do not understand what it is to be queer through lived experience, but they are still important parts of the queer community through their love of the people within it. See also the straight parents of queer kids, the straight kids of queer parents, straight friends who are ride or die, and straight trans people who don't owe anyone their medical history so that they can feel included at a picnic. Straight being a category that excludes someone from pride celebrations implies that
Do straight trans people exist? And I know it's a silly question, but I have genuinely never met one. I have genuinely never met one. And it's interesting because it's interesting because I thought that ContraPoints was the first person that I had like known about that was a straight trans person, but then she came out as lesbian slash bi slash questioning that. So I'm like, do they really exist? but but yeah, this is an interesting point. No meaningful overlap. Yeah, of course, I'm just talking about like personal experience, like nothing too meaningful, whatever. But it's just funny to think about: do they really exist?
there is no meaningful overlap between queer and straight experiences, which simply isn't true. Straight people, they are our partners, our family, our friends. But this is where I make some of you really mad, because even going beyond the cishet people who are exploring their identities and on their way toward queerness, or the cishet people who have queer loved ones, what if straightness itself could be queer? A lot of you really didn't like that, and you can disagree, but just let me explain.
The thing is, like, when people say straight, we are colloquially meaning like heterosexuality and like that sexuality, like preference of sexuality is like one spectrum, and this is what we were talking about with critical life theory. Watch the YouTube channel. um like you can, in theory, you can be trans and straight, you can be like ace and straight, like you can be hetero and straight, like, so like you can be queer and straight. Some Though I will say sometimes I ask myself, are can non-binary people be monosexual? Because how would that work? Because most non-binary people that I have met, I don't even know if they have a genital preference. I think they just have like preference on like presentation, and even then it's like I'm more attracted to masked people, but I don't care if they're a man or a woman kind of type, kind of thing. And it's like, so you're like, would you date a butch woman? And they would be like, yes. But it's like, just interview me already. Oh my god, do you want to be interviewed still long? I mean, look, I've said to Sam that if they want to come on stream and talk about their queerness, they are welcome. So you are also welcome. But yeah, so I'm like, I don't know. Okay,
What if straightness itself could be queer? A lot of you really didn't like that, and you can disagree, but just let me explain. Queerness as a concept is so much deeper than simply not cis or not straight. What it means to each of us is going to be different because we are different people, but here is what it means to me.
Interesting.
We live under imposed binaries, man or woman.
interesting, interesting. I'm so boring. I have nothing to offer.
Straight to me. We live under imposed binaries, man or woman, straight or gay, masculine or feminine, that offer no flexibility, no in-between, and no beyond. Queerness is a rebellion against the power structures intent on erasing that truth. It is not opening a door, it is tearing down the walls meant to contain us in the first place. Queerness is taking a stand against the practice of assigning labels to others to make them fit into an externally imposed system. So with this understanding, I would like to ask, is the presence of straight people in queer spaces heterosexualizing our glorious gayness, or is it perhaps queering what it is to be straight? Now, don't get me wrong, there is important nuance here. Straight privilege is obviously a thing. There are clear benefits to playing the heterosexual card, and those who do
Are straight people in queer spaces queering their straightness? It's like my initial feeling is to say no, fuck them. They just want to eat their cake too. I think yes. Wow, Dorian banned. Just kidding. But also it's like the same as like when cishet men paint their nails, right? It's like there's a part of me that is like, ugh, don't do it. But the other part of me, like the non-emotional, logical thinking part of me is like, you know that is actually good because it is like disrupting the binary, disrupting gender expectations. They should be allowed to present however they want and still identify however they want, even if that is within the if their labels are within the normative structures. So yeah, but then there's also like a kind of third part of me, like in between, that is like, even though that is good, there is also like a space that they are given because of their straight privilege to play around with that. And I feel like there is an episode of Glee. No, yes. I think it was Glee or 13 Reasons Why. But I think it was Glee. But there's an episode of Glee. Yeah, it was Glee. Where a football player said, a soccer player, okay, American soccer, United States soccer, more like, where the player was like, if I wear a dress, people are going to think that that it's cool. But if the F word wears a dress, they are going to laugh at him. So I don't care if you make me wear a dress. And it was something along those lines. And I remember that because all my life I've thought about that. How some people can get away with bending the binary and still like going back while others can't. And that is where I'm like, and that is where my initial gut feeling of like, no, fuck those straight people who want to be queer, who want to present queer, comes from. Because it's like, they get to be in queer spaces and then get out of them and be safe and not get any repercussions with, and like, they get to be in queer spaces without even needing them. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is the privilege that they have. Like, Hassan gets to paint his nails, and women and heterosexual women or whatever get to thirst over him. But if a more flamboyant guy just kidding. But if a more flamboyant guy paints their nails, women go, well, not, you know what I mean? Not all women. This is under a very patriarchal normative example, etc. But like, if a more flamboyant guy paints their nails, women go, oh my god, that's so cute, girl. Oh my god, you're so la, 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 la. And it's like almost pedantic. And it's like Hassan gets to be while also men are like are telling Hassan, oh my god, that's so cool, bro. Oh my god, that's so cool, bro. While men tell the more flamboyant guy, that's so gay, bro. That's so gay. Do you know what I mean? Like, straight people get to play pretend and then go back to normal. Do you know what I mean? Like, they get to have the benefits of queerness, as in like, they get to play around with their gender presentation while also not having to deal with any of the oppression part, which is fucked up. Because like, no matter your gender or sexual preference or whatever, you should be able to present however you want, be however you want, like, do whatever you want with your body. But because of the colonialist, heteronormative, patriarchal expectations, some people get killed for that. Some people get some people get beaten to death because of that. Some people get horrible looks in the streets. Some people get beaten on. Some people get harassed on the internet, like, and other people get to just do the exact same shit, but be praised and then go back to normal, And that's where I'm like, it's like, I wish we could be in a place where everyone can do whatever they want, but we are not. And because we are not, we kind of have to acknowledge the system and acknowledge why we are not there yet and deconstruct that system and abolish it and destroy it in order so that everyone can freely be themselves, however that looks like. You know what I mean? And that doesn't necessarily mean restricting straight people or like forbid them from expressing themselves however they want. It should be more about if straight people want to do that, they should know that while they get to play pretend, not like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're pretending, but if they generally want to paint their nails, that's whatever. But like, they should be aware that they get to play pretend and then go back and not be assaulted, for example, while other people do get assaulted. Do you know what I mean? Like, they should do all of those things while acknowledging how other people don't have that privilege. They should get to do those things while being aware of the history of queer oppression. Like, while being aware that they won't get repercussions because they are straight. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like, and that's the contradiction of it all. Like, that's why patriarchy fucks everyone up. You know, everyone is negatively impacted by the patriarchy because some people get killed, some people get raped, and others don't. But in order for them not to get raped or assaulted or killed, they have to stick to a certain set of rules or else. You know? Or else. So yeah. Okay, it got like super heavy. But yeah. They're at least problematizing it, which is an important step for breaking the hold that the cishet patriarchy has on them. Interesting, yeah. That also that could also cause gender norm defying acts to become normalized in the gender conforming population, losing the significance of gender non-conforming people. That is so true, Dorian. Is that a potential problem? No, yeah, because then like that kind of dilute. I mean, it is literally what liberalism is doing with all the revolutionary uh social movements. Like they get to like depoliticize queerness, and so because now queer people won't have any ammo, to put it in a way, then they don't have any more defenses, and they get to still be oppressed under capitalism, imperialism, colonialism, while not being able to protest that. Do you know what I mean? Like back in the day, I mean, to this day, you know, but still, like you get like people wear a rainbow flag, and that's protest, you know. And then when it becomes so normalized, without any benefit for queer people, other than just normalizing that, then what else do you have? Like, how do you tell people I'm still being killed for being queer? How do you tell people I'm still being not hired? I'm still getting fired. I'm still like facing oppression. I'm still being spitted on at school. I'm still being punched, beaten up on the street. I'm still being R-worded. Like, you know. And the further normalization of queer signals and symbols without any meaningful action becomes then like dangerous, which is sad and fucked up because it shouldn't. Like, do you know what I mean? This is why representation is the this is why representation is a commodification of representation is the commodification of liberation, because representation is sold to people as liberation when that is not true. Representation is what the system gives you as a way for people to calm down and not protest and not want to decommodify shit, in order for people not to riot and fight for their liberation. Oh my god, look at me developing like theory and shit. But yeah. But also we haven't finished the video, so I don't know where Finn is going, but I don't know. I don't think he will get into this, but he may be. So yeah. Explore their non-conforming expressions. Should be nice to the straight. Oh my god. I mean, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be nice to everyone, but just kidding. You want to be nice to everyone, and I won't stand for it. Yeah, Bon JC.
Often a thing. There are clear benefits to playing the heterosexual card, and those who do often show up with ignorance that they need to unpack. But this is true regardless of how straight someone actually is. The issue is not the identity itself, but rather the ideas that they are exposed to because of the label that goes with it. The idea that that label is the default. I mean, Lord knows I was ignorant as hell when I first showed up on the scene. And I cringe to think about it now, but hey, you know, that means I've grown, right? Because I had the opportunity to. People who have unpacked that ignorance understand the importance of sexual and gender minorities having spaces away from it all where they can move freely. So does it not benefit everyone to facilitate a world where doing that kind of work is possible? Most queer people are pushed to do that work out of necessity. If your identity is labeled deviant under a certain social system, you often have to interrogate it for the sake of survival. That is a traumatizing and exhausting process. And it is also true that there are unique challenges to having the apparent default identity as well. It's harder to look at and analyze and unpack your identity if you've never really had to. The privilege is in not needing to for the sake of survival, and that is a pretty significant privilege, but it's a double-edged sword. Because that internal examination is the key to real freedom and connection. It's what allows you to see yourself honestly and thus share that person with other human beings. So it's not that queer people need to do the work for straight people, that we need to just grin and bear it through all of the ignorant questions. It's more about sharing what it is that we have created and acknowledging how everybody can benefit from accessing it. It's also about not forgetting our history as we continue to make it, because gatekeeping queerness goes way back. There is a lot of respectability politics wrapped up in this, vying for the status of normal under a colonial, patriarchal, capitalistic, white supremacist system. You knew that you weren't getting through a video without me mentioning those things, but For the purposes of this video, we are just going to look at the practice of assigning the straight label for the purpose of gatekeeping. Biphobia from gays and lesbians who think that bisexual people are either straight and lying or homosexual and in denial. Transphobia from cis LGBs who insist that trans people are just heterosexuals with a fetish. Aphobia from allosexual queer people who argue that asexual people are the straights trying to infiltrate. How many times do we have to move this freaking line before we acknowledge that
You know what? Think about what you want about straight people. Allosexuals are the real problem. And I can say that because I am allosexual. Ace people are our gods. They should be ruling the planet. And the fact that they aren't, well, we live in the planet that we currently live in. And currently is because of our reason, and it's the lack of asexuality in positions of power. But yeah.
But the problem is the line existing in the first place. This practice completely erases the many overlapping aspects of our identities while reinforcing the undue power assigned to heterosexuality. It also implies that the goal is to completely do away with identity-specific labels such as gay or lesbian, which simply isn't true. Anyone who is pushing for more inclusivity, who has an understanding of how to connect with other human beings, knows that the labels we use to describe ourselves are helpful, they're important, and that we're not in a post-structural world just yet. Fostering an open and inclusive attitude does not mean that we get rid of identity-specific spaces entirely. It just means that we have a more nuanced conversation about them. It means we...
Okay, I'm glad he acknowledged that we still live in a system that doesn't allow for that, like, liberty or freedom. But yeah.
Specific spaces entirely. It just means that we have a more nuanced conversation about them. It means we stop gatekeeping the very concept of pride, that we stop imposing labels on others, and that we stop assuming we can know someone's values based on their immutable characteristics. It means that we confront the false dichotomy.
I get where Finn is coming from, and I don't disagree, but I don't like the framing of we shouldn't gatekeep pride, because that kind of puts the burden on queer people, when that is kind of like a very logical self-defense mechanism that yes, it can bring very that can alienate people, and that is bad, but it is not because queer people want to alienate people. It's because straight people have alienated queer people, and queer people now, in a self-defense manner, want to alienate straight people, but then that's revenge, and that's the trauma, and like, it's not the correct response, and the correct response should be that we still keep our spaces open regardless of the bad face actors that might enter, but in order to protect ourselves from bad face actors, then we have to develop other self-defense mechanisms that collectively help everyone, but also that means revolutionary action that people won't have because that requires education. But regardless of that, the thing is, like, I don't know how to frame it from the side of, like, I guess saying it's not about, like, but the thing is, like, so many things. Rather than just saying that queer people shouldn't gatekeep, I guess it should be more along the lines of straight people who want to be in queer spaces should be there in good faith and with an understanding of why those queer spaces exist in the first place, and ideally with some knowledge of queer history and queer liberation movement. And that way, queer people won't have to feel like they have to gatekeep in order to defend themselves from straight people who have historically entered queer spaces in bad faith, and that those queer spaces exist in the first place because queer people have been alienated from straight spaces and killed and raped and assaulted and stuff. And so even though even though queer people shouldn't gatekeep, it's the burden of straight people to prove that they are not to be gatekept in the first place and that they are in good faith in queer spaces, and for queer people to be good faith about the straight people who are in queer spaces in good faith. Do you know what I mean? And it is a lot, and some people don't have spoons, and but that is the work that is necessary, and only that way, with all those caveats and steps and acknowledgement, change will be possible. Thank you. And the kids of the world. But yeah. One learns from being excluded is resentment. I just think the only thing one learns from being excluded is resentment. Interesting. That is a very white thing to say. um, the things I've learned from being excluded have been to be compassionate, to be more empathetic, and to think about other people's feelings. Um, Being excluded has also taught me that everyone is hurting. But that is also something I learned from the empathy that I've developed because of being excluded. Um, and yeah, and it's like, and again, like I've I've been resentful. Like I'm not going to be here and tell you that I've never had angry feelings towards people who have excluded me. Like I've been sad, I've been angry, I've been vengeful even, you know. But like becoming a communist and learning about the systems of oppression and how they all affect everyone have truly made me change my framework and start to see things through another light, right? And so yeah, like revenge doesn't, like when you fight fire with fire, everything burns down. And that is resentment. That is vengeance. That is revenge. It's just more fire. As the Black Panthers said, we need to fight fire with water. You fight fire with water. You don't fight violence with, you don't fight adventurous bourgeois violence with adventurous proletariat violence. You fight adventurous bourgeois violence with strategic revolutionary violence. You fight that with education. You fight that with love. You know? And that love includes violence. It's acknowledging that we need to defend ourselves from the people who are killing us. And sometimes, most times, sadly, because that's just the reality of it, there will be violence and there will be death. But it's not for the sake of death. It's not for the sake of violence. It's for the sake of peace. It's for the sake of a better world. And not just for us, but for everyone. Like, yeah, you don't fight bigotry with more bigotry. You fight bigotry with education, with understanding, with empathy, with love. Yeah, an organization. That's why I mentioned strategic, because you have to understand what you are doing and you have to have a strategy. And for that, you have to like understand and organize and agitate and educate, you know? But yeah. So yeah. And look, Steel Lungs, like, I know that it is a journey to get to where I might be or to where we strive to be in that headspace of like, I always think of like Fred Hampton and how he was 100% devoted to revolution, and I admire that. And it's scary sometimes because he knew he was going to be killed and he was killed. But isn't it worth it? Isn't it worth it to like he died fighting? Yes, I know he was asleep. Okay. technically he wasn't asleep, he wasn't fighting. I know he was asleep, but he was still doing the work. You know? But you can educate someone who's not there, and you don't have to. You don't have to. Like there, and that's the thing. Like there will be people who will be there. I'm not telling you to educate everyone about everything. Sometimes you just see where people are at, and sometimes where they are at, they are just not ready. Sometimes you can just push them a little bit, and that's all you could do. And sometimes you can outright radicalize them. But just assessing the situation means that you are trying. Just assessing, oh, I cannot talk with them. Oh, they might not change their mind on queer people, but maybe I can change their mind on abortion or like women in general and like their gender essentialist view, you know? Like all we can do is try. And again, sometimes you will assess the situation and understand, okay, this person, I cannot deal with them. I don't know how to get to them, so I'm not going to engage. And that is enough. Because like it would be adventurous. It wouldn't be sensical for you to engage with a person that you know that is not ready to be engaged with, you know? And that's it. Like we can just try our best. And that's why it hurts me so much when I engage with other communists who are not trying, who decide to close themselves off, who decide to put their egos first, right? And to not want to challenge themselves and challenge their normative thinking, normative ways of thinking, But yeah. No, I will educate everyone. I literally can't help myself. Where's Robin Blind when I need him? I mean, the thing is, like, you can take two routes. You can take the dialectical route and be like, Sebs, you're right. I know you're kidding, but still, I'm going to let me give you this speech. You can take two routes. One is take the dialectical route and say, you know what, Sebs, you're right. Sometimes I will try, and sometimes I will be able to reach people, and others I won't. And the other route is to take the liberal route and say, no, I will try with everyone, and when that doesn't work, I won't try with anyone, because fuck them all. And that is not the and that is not the path that you should take. But if you decide to take the liberal path, then Mao will be disappointed in you. So yeah. When I worked in outreach, my job title was literally educator. Oh my god. With Dan. But yeah. No, but I mean, but that's the thing, right? Like, some people want to be helped and others don't. And for the ones who don't, you just hug them tighter until they threaten to kill you, and you are like, okay, fine, I will go away. And then they kill you anyway. And then they'll feel guilty. And they'll be like, oh my god, why did I kill them? And then you are like, psych, I was wearing a bulletproof vest. You didn't do anything to me. And then they will shoot you in the head. And then you'll die. And they'll be like, oh shit, this time I killed them for real. And then ideally, they would change their mind in that moment. But realistically, the police will come. And then they will get more angry. They will get angrier and get like angrier when they go to jail for killing you. And they'll never heal and die with a lot of anger and daddy issues. Because it's always daddy issues. But yeah. Okay, let's continue with the video.
Dichotomy of queer or bigot. Straight people. What does that even mean?
Ew! Boo, straight people.
That we stop imposing labels on others, and that we stop assuming we can know someone's values based on their immutable characteristics. It means that we confront the false dichotomy of queer or bigot. Straight people. What does that even mean? Because if you mean transphobes, homophobes, and misogynists, just say that. The messy truth of the matter is that there are straight people out there doing more work for queer liberation.
But also, yeah, straight people are not all bigots. But also, I do think there is a difference between. Well, I guess back-faced straight people are bigots, but not all straight people are good faith. Do you know what I mean? Like there are some straight people that are bigots. To be fair, there are some gay people who are bigots too. But this is a conversation about straight people, so don't change the topic. But yeah.
than many gay, lesbian, and trans people, and I hone in on those specific identities for a reason. I've got more in common with a cisgender straight boy who is still learning the lingo but genuinely wants to help than I do with Buck Angel, Ariel Scarcella, or Blair White, and I certainly hope those of you watching can say the same. Identity matters. Social position is important, but it is behavior and consciousness where the heavy lifting happens. We can't
Sometimes you have to change people's minds physically, don't get me wrong. What the fuck does that mean?
make outside calls on who does and does not belong at Pride, because Pride doesn't belong to any one of us or any specific letter in the acronym, and when we let ourselves get caught up in these conversations every fucking June, we really have to ask who it's benefiting. We really need to ask if we are accomplishing anything that affects our material reality, or if we are just
I honestly just think that the only people who don't belong at Pride is the liberals. And when I say liberals, I mean all the liberals. And by all the liberals, I mean the conservatives also, because conservatives are liberals. They all want capitalism, then you are a fucking liberal. So yeah.
taking the bait set out by outside agitators who are looking to weaken our movement. I wanted to talk about this because I noticed a great many people doing exactly that, and because I have taken the bait before too. I wasn't always gates open, come on in. It is something that I had to work on, and I wish that someone had been there to say to me what I'm saying to you now. I understand the defensive drive. We have been laid low for so long that it feels so much safer to be in a position of power. But if we really want to get back at the ways that we have been hurt by being categorized and restricted on the grounds of identity, we need to remove the power from that practice entirely. Break the system, love the people, and look at the ways that we can help each other. Straight people.
I feel like this got a little bit anarchisty when he mentioned we need to remove the power. And the thing is, like, you cannot remove the power though. In a system where power inherently is like where power is inherent to the system. Do you know what I mean? Like you cannot just remove yourself from the power dynamic. The best defense is a good offense. True. Ash Ketchum taught me that. Um, System versus people dichotomy is idealism. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't think that is the best conclusion. Which is weird because he's been pretty dialectical so far, apart from this. And this goes back to our conversation a lot of streams ago when we were talking about how, like, liberals and right wingers in general are good at marketing, and that's why a lot of slogans that the left uses are pretty anarchisty because they are liberal slogans, because ultimately anarchism is just liberalism, and that's why anarchism knows how to market itself because it's just planted by the CIA. But yeah, so it's interesting that, like, he's like ending. Well, he's not ending. There's still like 4 minutes left, but he's like ending with this like slogan type of thing that it's pretty anarchisty. But yeah, but I wouldn't say that this like removes all of the nuance, all of the dialectical nuance that he has presented beforehand in the video. But yeah, I just don't particularly agree with this kind of assessment because I don't think it's possible in the first place. But yeah,
love the people.
like we need to acknowledge the system in order to change it. But yeah, anarchisty, yeah. Because I wouldn't label it necessarily as like full blown anarchism. I guess you could, but I'm just giving Finn the benefit of the doubt, you know. But yeah, new word just dropped. I've always used anarchisty. Ah,
People. And look at the ways that we can help each other. Straight people. If that term describes you and you are still watching, I have some suggestions for those of you who would like to show up. It is very important to understand the history of Pride, why we still need it, and what it's actually about. Queer people were and continue to be policed for our identities in ways that straight cisgender people never have been on those grounds. Our spaces are fun as hell, but they are not just fun. They're safe for us, and they're built on a lot of struggle and loss. Learn that history, recognize its importance. Recognize why it's important to spend more time listening than speaking when you're invited in. Engage with our art. Listen to our stories, and if you benefit from the lessons we share, support us. This could be purchasing art or donating to our fundraisers, but it can also be sharing with other straight people, confronting the attitudes that hurt us so that we don't have to. Understand that it's not so much that you can't be part of something, it's that you shouldn't always want to be. Part of supporting someone often means respecting their need to sometimes
ooh. Okay, sorry. I was thinking about, can someone find me where JT said that he was dropped from Nebula for supporting Palestine? I know that he didn't word it like that, if I'm not mistaken, but like I was looking for that the other day and and I didn't find it. So if someone knows about where he posted about that, I would be really grateful for that. Cause I had been seeing Jessie Gender like promote her movie Identities that is with Nebula, and I just keep, and the only thing that I keep thinking about is like, didn't they drop JT because of supporting Palestine? Why would you, you know? But at the same time, like, I didn't find the, because I thought he had tweeted about it, but he probably had like, uh, he had probably, I don't know, not picked up again. But that's the thing, right? Like, yeah. Wait, what? What else would that mean? Um, but yeah, if someone finds the JT stating, talking about Nebula or whatever, I would say that. But yeah, and also, oh, who is Maggie? Is she Maggie Mayfish?
but it can also be sharing with other straight people.
I'm not gonna lie, and I hate to be this person because I do want to be supportive of queer media and independent media, but I'm just seeing the acting. I don't even have to listen to the dialogue, and it's like Not the best acting. And look, I can talk because I have directed short films where there was not particularly great acting. Okay, so I know how bad acting looks like. And so, yeah. Go to site. Why would hello? Second thought alleges that Nebula streaming platform asking to make both side statement or leave the platform in regards to ongoing in video announcing partnership with Means TV. Okay, I don't know why I thought Means TV was part of Nebula, but also a massive portion of creators on Nebula vocally supported Palestine. This doesn't make any sense. Example of statements.
Sent five dollars. Thank you very much. He says, "Did the Palestinians actually take civilian hostage, or is that fake news?" I don't care.
Yeah, the occupiers
I don't-
are
I ju-
not civilians. That is what.
Chad knows. Chad knows my stance, but officially in this platform, I have no comment nor opinion on what JT is saying in this stream, because I am just not informed. Yeah, so we are just going to continue watching the stream, the clip, and I personally have no opinions and or feelings about what any of the people on this video might or might not say about any topics. This stream does not endorse all the opinions that we present.
Sent five dollars. Thank you very much. He says, "Did the
And everything I have done is alleged. Thank you very much.
Palestinians actually take civilian hostage, or is that fake news?" I don't care.
Yeah, the occupiers
I don't-
are
I ju-
not civilians. That is what it comes
Yeah.
down to. Like, if imagine,
French- yeah.
like if
Sorry, go on.
Germany, let's say Germany, to be non-controversial, invaded the United States, and they said, you know what, Cincinnati, Ohio, is our ancestral home, and
How is Germany a non-controversial? Sorry, I'm commenting. I have no opinions.
everyone knows that's blatantly false. But they take your home, they murder your grandma, they bulldoze like your neighbor's house. Are those people civilians there? No, they're occupiers, and those are criminals. That is, there are no civilians there in the illegal military occupation.
Yeah. So that's number one, very beautifully put. Number two, much more importantly, the track record of Palestinians has been 1,000 times better than that of the Israeli occupation, despite the fact that Israeli occupation does not need to brutalize. They already have all the power, but they still choose to do far worse. The worst that will happen to a person in Palestinian custody is that they're going to be like auctioned off for a prisoner swap, which is the historic track record also. Sent $5. Thank you very much. He says, "Did the Palestinians actually take civilian hostage, or is that fake news?"
Steps is allegedly based. Okay. I have no opinion on what Second Thought or any of the people in that video said. But I feel like the statement that he made in that clip could have been more egregious. me checking with my lawyer if anything that I'm saying is like. Yeah, did you hear that? Yeah, am I getting sued? No, got it. Thank you. uh, this should probably be higher up. Um, that makes way more sense. I can definitely understand why even a more progressive partner would want you to clean that up. Anyone should have wanted a statement made on this and or drop this person completely regardless of political alignment. What a horrendous thing to say. Civilians in occupying nations are 100% still civilians. I am just reading this comment. I do not have any particular feelings on whatever this commenter is saying. But if you know, you know. Regardless of political, are still civilians and should be left out of conflict as long as they aren't choosing to insert themselves in it. White comment. Oh, where is Robin Blind when I need hydration? Don't read Reddit comments, they are fucking awful. Yes, they are. uh, uh, okay, but when, oh, sorry, but when did he claim that? Like, how did he claim it? Like, when, where, and how did he claim it? Oh, it says here in, it was on X, on, sorry, on Twitter. Okay, it was on Twitter.
I'm excited to announce that
Rob always looking after your hydration, right? I'm like, where is he? I even modded him here. But yeah.
Hey there, JT from Second Thought. I'm excited to announce that I've officially joined Means TV. As of right now, you can find all my content, including the new F Word, my series on fascism, on Means. Most of you probably know I'd been working with another streaming platform for a number of years. In fact, I was one of the founding members. But after Israel's recent escalation of their genocide in Gaza, I was asked to either make a both sides statement or leave the platform. I wasn't willing to compromise my principles for business optics, so we parted ways as amicably as possible. Things like that are exactly why Means TV is so important. It's a platform that's not.
It's interesting because, like, we are. It's interesting because he says that there is no. Like, if he wasn't willing to compromise, why did he live as amicably as possible? Do you know what I mean? Civility politics attacks again. Like, I would have personally, in the case of JT, exposed them and posted all the screenshots of them telling me to make a both sides statement. Now I'm never going to be part of Nebula. No. Well, fuck them. Fuck them Zionists. Oh. But so logical, but someone had said it. Yeah, but uh, like I wish he could be more transparent, but I will guess that. Wow, Sam. Wow, you're calling me messy? Oh, you think I'm dirty? Oh, you think I'm dirty because I'm brown? Wow. I see. I see how it is. I see how it is.
Things like that are exactly why
Oh, you're calling me messy because I'm gay? On Pride Month? Wow.
Means TV is so important. It's a platform that's not afraid to stand by its convictions. And more than that, it's actually structured as a co-op. So when Mean says we're creator owned, we mean that literally. If you're looking for a streaming service that's home to genuine
Was that shade to Nebula? Is Nebula not actually creator owned? What does that mean, JT? What does that mean?
principled anti-imperialist content, we've got you covered. Hey there.
Girl! Oh my god, I need to interview JT and tell him to spill all the tea. Spill all the tea, thief. Spill all the tea. Also, when was this? Oh, this was February of this year. Interesting. But yeah, I want to look for. I don't think Jessie Gender is still on Twitter though. I think she has moved completely to Blue Sky, which I get, but also it's like, uh, sorry. Wonder what Australia subs will be like. Oh my god. Oh my god, I will have an accent. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to do Australian accent. I just know British. um and I feel like I lean too much into my Bali girl accent when I speak in English, so yeah. I don't know if I will actually develop an Australian accent, but if I do, mate, I will love it. Palestine. Look, I did this with Abigail Thorne, okay? Like, doing this with Jesse is not going to be like. For a while I've been vocal about this on this platform and a few others. I had folks who don't follow me elsewhere on my YouTube channel thinking I was silent on what's happening in Palestine, so I figured I'd clear and share this here and elsewhere. But after seeing some comments, I realized that I haven't been vocal about it in my main channel. People assume that it was because I didn't want to say anything. That's me, one of the weird things as a creator. I unequivocally support Palestinian liberation and a ceasefire. Not the best start, but a good one for now. A ceasefire of the ruthless cruelty being carried out against the Palestinian people. I think it is a very important to use my platform to vocally advocate for what I believe is right for Palestine. I recommend watching the below video featuring one of my friends, a former GameSpot colleague, Tamur Hossein, which discusses in great depth the ongoing issues and censorship facing the Palestinian people right now. I have always been extremely vocal about the importance of solidarity for others who live under oppression and how it's on us to work together to stand up for each other when it's most needed. I've spoken about how it is necessary for trans people right now as we face genocide in the US and around the world. I get it, but I don't like make like okay, first of all, trans people have never not been genocided in the US. Like they just continue to be genocided currently. And second, why are you making this about that? Which like I get, but also it's like you don't have to make it about yourself. But I get it. It's like you're creating a bridge between two topics that your main audience and like I get it, but also it's like why are you making this about yourself? And I know it's not about herself per se, it's about like trans people in general, but I just feel but whatever. I get it and I support it. But it's like a type of behavior that I always see coming from white people. And so it's like it's just my reaction. So but yeah, I'm sorry. My initial reaction, but yeah. And around the world, and it's necessary for me to do the same when other colonized people are under attack. Well, solidarity with Palestinians is my foremost concern. I also want to just say that I know all of this is scary time for Jewish folk right now. While I strongly stand against Israel's actions in Gaza, I know that all this violence is extremely triggering for many Jewish folks who have long felt the generational trauma of genocidal violence. I also know that oftentimes people use anti-Israel sentiments to anti smuggle in anti-Semitism. I want everyone to know that I stand strongly against anti-Semitism. I in fact have several videos coming that will be talking about the confluence of anti-Semitism and anti-trans hate in the coming months, most likely beginning early next year. You will always have my solidarity and voice. This also goes just as strongly for Islamophobia. Okay, this is like a good balance, but like a little too balanced. This also goes just as strongly for Islamophobia that is being pushed by recent mainstream galvanization against Palestinian people, right down to the bigoted notion that the Middle East is endlessly violent and this is just par for the course. Palestinians deserve a chance to not only survive but thrive. And because someone I know will ask, yes, of course I condemn the violence. And there it is. And there it is, folks. Well, I condemn the. Yeah, stream over. Bye, everyone. It's over. uh, and because someone I know will ask, yes, of course I condemn the violence of Hamas, but to focus only on Hamas is the face in the face of the ongoing genocide Palestinians face is an obfuscation of the horrors being committed, then why do you even mention it at all? This is not a fight between equal military powers, and it hasn't been for a long time. 75 fucking years. And it hasn't been for a long time, and the lack of understanding of that fact and the intentional misconstruing of that fact by mainstream media in the US and UK is what fuels so much of the genocidal rhetoric we see. In the end, we will not get anywhere with our fight against white supremacy, colonization, capitalism, and all other oppressive systems if we don't stand in solidarity with those being oppressed. What about standing with those defending those oppressed? Hmm? I mean, I personally do not have any stances or opinions on this very topic. My chat knows, but I'm just asking questions. You know? Just queen work. Yeah. As it is clear to see, moments like these are often used to smuggle in anti-trans, anti-queer, anti-women, anti-Semitic, and anti-Islamic sentiments into the mainstream. See how mainstream US media has vilified young queer folks for speaking up for Palestinians, for example. The struggle of one oppressed group is a struggle for all of us. We are in this fight together. We are all here together to help each other thrive. I send my love. Hmm. It is giving PR statement. Personally, to me, it is giving PR statement. It is giving like premeditated, legally backed, legally overseen statement that is not too radical. Do you know what I mean? So, but in order to be good faith with Jesse, um, at least there is a statement. At least she's allegedly pro-Palestine. So that's not nothing. So yeah. What the fuck am I doing? But yeah. It hasn't been equal ever at any point. Yeah. Yeah. Literally never. Stand in solidarity with the oppressed, but not when they fight back against the oppression. Literally. I mean, I don't have any opinion. So any opinions that my chat might express do not necessarily directly reflect mine, and this is a free speech platform, except for bigots. So yeah, no, Dorian, because I see you and I hear you. Can I be the president of the United States now? um, uh, trans person in the world. Mhm. Interesting. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. I'm sorry we don't have the emote. Oh my god, I wish we could have my emote, but we don't. I'm done. I'm I'm done. Oh my god, I cannot. I shouldn't have. Oh my god.
Confronting the attitudes that hurt us so that we don't have to. Understand that it's not so much that you can't be part of something, it's that you shouldn't always want to be. Part of supporting someone often means respecting their need to sometimes be around other people who just get it without having to run checks on people who don't. And that's not just a straight people thing. This is true for all of us. More white queers especially really need to apply this understanding to BIPOC queer spaces. It's essential to be able to let your guard down and just feel understood without having to earn it through emotional labor. And finally, when you are called in, really ask where you're needed rather than simply going where you would like to be. I remember attending multiple Pride events a few years ago, and one thing really stuck with me. At the parade, the MC, a glorious drag queen, was engaging the audience by calling upon them for cheer sections. Let's hear it from the lesbians, let's hear it from the gay men, let's hear it from the trans people. And the loudest, longest, most enthusiastic cheer came when she called upon straight allies, which is great. But the day before, I had showed up to the trans march, a protest, and the crowd was a meager handful in comparison. Now, I obviously don't know how many of these people were straight cisgender people, we've already talked about that, but it shouldn't have been the numbers that it was in comparison to the parade, in comparison to the parties, in comparison to the festivals. The people who did show up gave it their all, and that stuck with me a lot more than some cheering in front of the Royal Bank of Canada float. Allies show up when it's fun and convenient, but accomplices show up when they're needed. So by all means, show up for the party, but know that the protest is where we need you, especially in the current political climate. So straight people, why do they belong at Pride? Because they're not as straight as you think they are. Because they love a queer
Then they are not straight. If you are questioning, then you are not straight. Then you are questioning. Questioning is also a valid identity. Questioning is like the definition of a non-label label. It's literally the definition of I have no labels and I don't want to commit to anything right now. Like that is questioning. Your no labels label, that's your label. Okay? Okay. I am angry now. I'm not angry because of pain. I'm angry because of Jesse, but whatever. Sure, let's blame the woman. Look at me, my sexist arc.
queer person. Because they're drawn to the deconstruction of systems that are meant to reinforce a status quo. Because they love and want to celebrate queer culture. Because we need each other if we are going to make this world better. I'm going to leave it there. Please take a moment to sit with yourself, your feelings, maybe look in the mirror, maybe say your name before using internet anonymity to get angry. Just a suggestion. Those of you who do take the time to do this can use the Cool Kids Club code Potato Pancakes at the beginning of your comment so that I know you actually took the time to listen. Thank you very much for doing that. Cakes at the beginning of your comment so that I know you actually took the time to listen. Thank you very much for doing that. Even if you disagree. Disagreement is fine. I hope you got something of value out of this. And, yeah, as always, thanks for watching.
Just gay. Okay. This was a great video with a lot of ups and some few and far in between downs. However, was on point. Actually, I should comment from my other account. Wait. Though I don't think it will let me change account. No, it won't.
Yeah.
Let me watch it from my other account. Okay, this was a great video with a lot of ups and downs, with a lot of ups and some few and far in between downs. However, most of the analysis was on point, and I thoroughly appreciated the nuance in the nuance in the nuance. I feel like the Q in LGBTQIA2 plus is there for a reason, and it's not only but questioning, and if straight person identifies with that queue, they should always okay, and in the cases, not the case as long they are good faith and with knowledge of why queer spaces exist in the first place. Okay, this was a great video with a lot of ups and some few and far in between downs. However, most of the analysis was on point and I thoroughly appreciated the nuance. I feel like the Q in LGBTQI2+ is there for a reason and not only for queer, but questioning. And if a straight person identifies with that Q, they should always be welcome. And in the cases where that's not the case, as long as they are coming in good faith with the knowledge of why queer spaces exist in the first place, they should be good. Okay. Oh. Okay. Look, I've been through. How long have I been streaming? Oh my god, 3 hours and a half almost. But yeah, I wish I could. I wish I could rate. But I don't know how to rate here. Can I just rate? No, I cannot just rate. But hey, I've been streaming for 3 hours and a half. So if you have enjoyed any of my analysis, wow, Nightbot is just. Oh, I feel like I have to like. Oh no, Nightbot it just takes a while. If you have enjoyed the stream, my analysis, my commentary, etc., you can donate directly to me. And if not, thank you either way for being here. I know that streaming on YouTube is more difficult as a viewer. So, Dorian, Sam, the lurkers, I really appreciate you being here. Like, you cannot understand how much, but yeah. Uh, Other than that, like, there's a part of me that is like, um, okay, I do want to talk about the boy video that just came out, but I don't think we're going to watch it because I'm pretty tired. I'm not gonna lie. But I did want to comment on it. Leave a like. More than views, more views than viewers than likes. Thank you. Yeah, like the video. Um, their new video is called "Stop Calling Us Incels," and this is the thumbnail. And why is that the thumbnail? And yeah. Um Apparently thin people cannot be incels in your next stream. Oh yeah. I don't get what they are fat in the thumbnail because they are not in the video. And I hope they'll address it in the video, but I feel like they're like kind of implying that fat people are incels or that all incels are fat, which is still, and so it's like adding into the fat phobia of it all and to, so I'm like, and even if it's a reference to the video, like I am seeing that they are reacting to some kind of like, I assume like Dr. Phil. I don't know if it's Dr. Phil, but some kind of show. Like I will assume like there will probably be like a fat man that is causing a problem of some kind and they happen to be an incel, and it's like, why are they making themselves fat on the in the thumbnail instead of just putting the face of the guy? Do you know what I mean? Like, and on top of that, it's like, are they like implying that because they look fatter, they are like less attractive and therefore more likely to be incels? Though I can admit that this might be just a stretch, but at the same time, it's like there is a lot of this messaging out there already. So it's like, why is this a thumbnail? But yeah. But yeah. And also, I wanted to watch the new FD Signifier video talking about why Kanye was never good because I was right all along. But yeah. Um. So yeah. But other than that, I guess I'll leave you to it. I don't think anyone's streaming. Is anyone streaming on Twitch to rate them? Interesting. Thank you for a fun stream today. Thank you for coming, Dorian. So yeah, I'll just have to end stream, but yeah. Thank you for coming, Dorian. Um, yeah, and all the raiders. I hate ending YouTube streams. They are so awkward. But yeah, I love you all. I'll see you probably on Monday. But yeah. Bye.